If you're thinking about buying Orgain Organic Protein, hold up, because today I'm diving deep into this popular plant-based protein powder and revealing some surprising truths you need to know first. But here's what surprised me. While Orgain promises clean ingredients and a healthy lifestyle boost, there's a lot more beneath the surface than meets the eye. You've probably seen this product praised as the ultimate vegan protein. But what if I told you it might not be the flawless powerhouse you've been led to believe? Stick around, because by the end of this review, you'll know exactly if this product deserves a spot in your pantry or if you should look elsewhere. Right off the bat, Orgain Organic Protein boasts 21 grams of organic plant-based protein per serving, only 1 gram of sugar, and a blend featuring peas, brown rice, and chia seeds providing all 9 essential amino acids. Sounds perfect, right? But can it really deliver on these promises without compromises? Today, I'm breaking down everything about its ingredients, taste, value, and who should actually use it. Because if you're a busy parent, fitness enthusiast, or just someone wanting cleaner nutrition, this review is for you. Let's jump straight into the nitty-gritty before you add anything to your cart. First, the good stuff. Orgain's big selling point is its clean label. It's USDA organic, vegan, gluten-free, soy-free, and doesn't contain any artificial colors, flavors, preservatives, erythritol, carrageenan, lactose, or dairy. That's impressive, considering how many protein powders sneak in junk. So if you're someone battling allergies or sensitive to artificial additives, Orgain looks like a safe bet. Plus, with 6 grams of prebiotic fiber per serving, it aims to help your digestion, a bonus not many plant proteins brag about. But here's where things get interesting. Despite these claims, some users report a chalky taste or grit that makes shaking it up less smooth than expected. And for a protein powder that's supposed to be silky and delicious, that's a bit of a letdown. But it's not just about taste. I did some digging. While the protein blend covers all 9 essential amino acids, it primarily relies on pea protein, brown rice, and chia seeds. Individually, these are great sources, but combined, they can sometimes leave you wanting more in terms of bioavailability and muscle recovery. Basically, if you're an athlete or hardcore gym rat, Orgain might fall short in providing the punch your muscles crave post-workout. It's like expecting a power smoothie but getting an okay salad instead. Now here's a twist. Orgain also prides itself on versatility. You can mix it with water, almond milk, oat milk, or even blend it into overnight oats or baked goods for an energy boost. That's a major plus for busy folks who want to sneak in protein without fuss. However, some people find that the powder clumps when blended with colder liquids or takes longer to dissolve, which can put a damper on your quick protein fix. Rehook moment. Wondering if all these quirks mean you should skip Orgain altogether? Hang tight, we're just getting started. Price point alert. Orgain Organic Protein is typically priced around $29.59 for a 2-pound container. That's roughly on par with other premium organic protein powders, so it's not breaking the bank. However, the price-to-serving value might not be as stellar as it looks, especially if you only get around 20 servings per container. When you break it down, you're paying a little over $1 per serving, which is decent, but if you're relying on protein shakes daily, that adds up fast. Also, while Amazon gives it a solid 4.5-star rating, digging into the reviews reveals a mixed bag. For example, many users love the flavor options like sweet vanilla bean, citing it as smooth and drinkable without gagging, which, let's be honest, is high praise for plant proteins that tend to be bitter or chalky. But others point out issues with clumping, aftertaste, or even claims that the protein powder made their stomachs feel bloated or uncomfortable. So, if you have a sensitive gut, you might want to proceed cautiously. Here's a joke for you. Why did the pea protein refuse to fight? Because it didn't want to get into a PC battle. Corny. Maybe. But it illustrates how pea protein, while healthy, can sometimes be a bit on the mild side in muscle-boosting power. On the health front, Orgain's commitment to no soy, non-GMO, and kosher certifications is a solid checkmark for anyone with specific dietary restrictions. But some competitors manage to pack comparable or even higher protein content with fewer carbs and less fiber, which might matter for athletes in a cutting phase or those managing carb intake strictly. If you're a paleo or keto person, Orgain probably isn't your best option since it's plant-based and contains some net carbs. But for most mainstream vegans and vegetarians, it fits nicely into a balanced diet, especially if you're looking for an all-natural, organic source without the chemical additives. Another twist. Although Orgain markets this as a family-friendly shake, including kids, I wouldn't personally rely on it for children regularly, because plant proteins can sometimes cause digestive upset in younger kids, and may lack the amino acid balance that growing children need from complete proteins found in animal-based options or carefully planned meals. But don't worry, if you're here for a solid plant-based protein option that's healthier than your average powder, Orgain still has a place in your routine, especially if you value organic certification and allergen-conscious formulas. Rehook, ready to hear about flavor mixing tips and whether this can become your go-to shake. It gets better from here. Talking taste, Orgain's sweet vanilla bean flavor is charming and naturally sweetened, which reduces the artificial aftertaste common to protein powders. I found it blends well with almond milk and oat milk, creating a creamy, enjoyable shake. However, mixing with just water sometimes leaves a slightly grainy texture. Some users recommend blending with bananas or peanut butter for a more decadent smoothie, turning your post-workout shake into something you'll actually look forward to. On the other hand, if you're a texture purist who cringes at any grittiness, you might find this one a bit challenging. Here's a quick joke break. What do you call a protein powder that tells jokes? A way too funny supplement. Okay, back to business. If you decide to bake with Orgain, maybe protein pancakes or muffins, you'll appreciate the fact it doesn't overpower the flavors and stays neutral enough to work silently in the background. Plus, being organic means you're avoiding chemical residues that can sometimes build up in processed ingredients. Final thoughts. Orgain Organic Protein is a solid choice if you're vegan, allergic to dairy or soy, and want an organic source of protein with minimal sugar and clean ingredients. But it's not without its quirks, chalkiness, potential digestive discomfort, and a price point that may feel steep for daily heavy usage. If taste and texture are your highest priorities, or you need the absolute best muscle recovery fuel, you may want to compare a few other high-protein, low-carb options. That said, this protein powder shines brightest for people with busy lifestyles needing a quick, clean protein boost without artificial junk. Think busy moms, on-the-go professionals, or plant-based beginners transitioning away from animal proteins. And here's the final joke before we wrap. Why did the protein powder break up with the blender? Because it just couldn't mix well. Thankfully, you can still blend Orgain perfectly with the right liquids and a little patience. To sum it up, Orgain Organic Protein is far from perfect, but it has its distinct advantages for certain users aiming for clean, plant-based nutrition. It prioritizes quality and certifications, making it an excellent option for allergy sufferers and organic product lovers. Would I recommend it as the ultimate protein powder? Not exactly, but for a balanced lifestyle supplement with a natural twist, it's worth a shot. If you want the best price and to check out the current deals, the Amazon link is in the description below. Grab your container, experiment with mixing methods, and see if Orgain fits your protein needs. Thanks for watching this honest deep dive. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit that bell if you want more no-nonsense reviews. Stay healthy, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next one.